He took just one innings to announce his arrival in Test cricket. Yashasvi Jaiswal only needed one more innings to stake a claim in T20Is. A fine knock, 84 not out of just 51 balls, has powered India to a thumping series-leveling victory in the fourth T20I against West Indies as the caravan moved from the Caribbean to the USA. Welcome to ESPNcricinfo T20 Timeout, joined by Wasim Jaffer to look back on the fourth T20I. And Wasim, that is as comprehensive as victories come, and so good to see a newcomer set it up.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, first of all, India did well to restrict them to 179 and to come out and bat like that. We talked about the start of the innings is such an important thing. India got the start with the ball. India got start with the bat also. So kind of a complete game. And when two batters bat like that, the bowlers generally don't have nothing, and that's what we saw today. West Indies had very less to offer, and it was a complete dominating performance from India.
Yes, important to point out that there were runs and commanding runs at last for Shubman Gill too. Gill and Jaiswal sharing a record obliterating 165 run stand in just 15.3 overs. But the focus on Jaiswal, Wasim, first. How do you assess that knock? What stood out the most to you?
Well, his fearlessness, what we talked about, even though after failing in the first game, he came out and batted in the similar fashion. That is very pleasing to watch. Sometimes a failure can, make you a little bit defensive. That was not the case. In this format, there's no place for that. And he came out, all guns blazing again. And the pitch was a difference. This pitch, the ball came onto the bat, and Shubman and Jaiswal both light ball coming onto the bat, and the difference was there for everyone to see. So once they got going, Jaiswal took it on earlier. Shubman, like we spoke earlier, also he likes to take his time. He took his time a little bit, but once he gets going, he kind of overtook Yashasvi after that. So I think the pitch was very good to bat on, and they both capitalized on it. And Yashasvi, uh, you need somebody to bat like that in the power play. India lacked that before at times, and it's nice to see him come out and bat so freely, so dominatively. And I hope to see him more in white ball format also from him.
Is that fearlessness of approach, that freedom from past baggage, perhaps the most appealing factor in favor of these younger prospects when you think of a Jaiswal or think of a Tilak?
I think so. I think they've not played the ICC events before, so sometimes it helps that they haven't uh, seen the defeats or they haven't been criticized for the defensive cricket. So it's nice for the newcomers to come out and play freely, and obviously, make a mark. And with that, India winning, I think that also helps. But throughout, once they play more, they'll go through their phases of defeats also. But it's important, especially in this format, to come out and play freely, irrespective of what happens. Sometimes you will win, sometimes you won't, but that's fine. The name of the game is to dominate and take the attack to the opposition, and that's exactly what these youngsters are doing.
And while Shubman Gill is now all of a sudden not looked at as a youngster, given that there are younger guys joining the ranks, it would have been a source of relief for himself, for him too, given all the relative low scores he's had through the Caribbean leg. Got a belter and got the runs, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, the pitch was good to bat on. There's no denying that. But even then, when you're low in confidence, when you're a little bit out of form, uh, sometimes on a good pitch also you sometimes miss out. But good to see he didn't wasted that opportunity. He played himself in a little bit, and once he got going, it was a pitch where he can trust his shots, and then he went along, hitting those through the line shot which he enjoys playing. And when he bats on pitches like that, uh, you know that when the ball comes onto the bat, Shubman Gill is in his elements, and that's what we got to see. And he's kind of a senior partner in this partnership along with Jaiswal. So it's nice to see him get among the runs. He's a class act. A few innings here and there doesn't make him a bad player. You do go through these phases in your career, and I'm sure he'll go even more. But it's good to see him back among the runs.
You'd said in the lead up to this game that if India's bowlers keep West Indies down to 100, they will find it easy to win, which is exactly how it transpired. So important to give a word to the bowlers as well. And among them in particular, 4 wickets had fallen by the end of the seventh. Two were Arshdeep's doing in the power play, and then Kuldeep Yadav with a double strike in the first over after the power play, which had the wickets of Pooran and Powell. How vital were those pairs of wickets for Arshdeep and Kuldeep, and would you agree that that's where the game was more or less decided?
I think the Ashdeep double strike also was very important because both the batters looked like they were getting set to score quickly and take that game to the opposition. They both got 15, 17. So those two strike was also very crucial. Obviously, Pooran and Robman Powell, those were the guys who were in form, and those were the guys who scored runs for West Indies. So again, those two strikes from Kuldeep again was a game-changing moment. India could have easily been chasing 200 or maybe 220. You never know with those guys still at the crease. So I think those two strikes from Ashdeep was also important, but those two from Kuldeep was like a gold. It turned the game on its head, even though Hetmeyer batted well. But I thought Kuldeep's double strike was even more important.
Kudos, though, to Shimron Hetmeyer, who somehow telepathically, I think, did receive some of the things Wasim Jaffer had to say before this game when we spoke about him and his struggles. He did play the knock, which took West Indies towards 180, but that's where we leave it for now. I'm going to leave it, though, Wasim. It's a quick turnaround. We'll see each other just on Sunday evening with a quiz question for you and our viewers, which is when was the last time India had a century opening stand in men's T20Is, which did not involve either KL Rahul or Rohit Sharma? I'm going to give you time. You will get to think about it, as will you, viewers. We're back at Sunday, 7:30 p.m. IST, or whenever the toss happens. It's a quick turnaround, so think about it, and we'll have the answer for you on ESPNcricinfo T20 Timeout Live, where Wasim Jaffer will join us to build up to the fifth and final and decisive T20I of the series between India and West Indies. Thank you so much for your time.